Hello, good afternoon. This is Dr. Stephen Evans. I am the publisher and editor-in-chief for Outclick magazine. We're a lifestyle, LGBT lifestyle, and travel destination publication for South Florida. This afternoon, we are pleased to have Tim Hart, senior partner at R3 Accounting and a long-term client of the magazine. Tim, welcome this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. Great. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Tim. Tell us about yourself and a little bit about R3 Accounting, if you don't mind.
Well, I am a CPA, and I've been a CPA in Fort Lauderdale since the early 80s. I spent 10 years with KPMG, and then have been on my own ever since. R3 Accounting is located at the corner of Commercial and Bayview. We perform tax and accounting services. We don't do any audit work by choice. I have a partner that works with me, Richard Paul, who really makes life easy. He's a great tax guy. I have a couple other tax guys up there and a fantastic group of people. We do close to 800 plus individual returns and 200 plus business returns a year. So we're just a small firm, but for a small group of people, that's a lot. And I personally am very active in the LGBT community, and have been for some time, mostly through my work in the chamber in the early 2000s, and it just progressed from there.
And you're a member of the Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce and active in their GLBX, and a member of the Greater Fort Lauderdale LGBT Chamber of Commerce as well.
I am. I'm on the board of the Oakland Park Wilton Manors Uptown Council of the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce. I'm the past chairman of that. So,
very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, you can paste those into the box for Tim. But Tim, tell us a little bit about the state of affairs with the IRS. Things have changed quite a bit since COVID-19 as far as due dates and what the expectations are. If you can give us maybe a state of affairs of the IRS.
Yes, I would love to do that. First off, you mentioned the due dates. Anything that was happening between April 1st and 7/15 has been extended to 7/15, July 15th. So that means your first quarter estimated payments for 2020, your second quarter estimated payment for 2020, your 2019 federal income tax, that all has been delayed and is now due on July 15th, 2020. That is a big deal. Second would be the IRS's and the Treasury Department's desire to assist people during the COVID-19 crisis. So they had what is commonly referred to as the stimulus payment, and that's really the economic impact payments, and that is based on your 2019 tax return if you had filed one, or if you had in your 2018 tax return. If you fall within certain parameters, generally under $75,000 of income or less, you're going to get a stimulus payment of $1,200. And that's a big deal for people that lost their jobs or got laid off. I think that's a great thing. I have a lot of clients that older folks who were retired who fall into that category, and they can use that. And then the IRS had something that was the People First initiative, which people really don't know about, which they tried to become more people friendly but in a very distant way. The IRS is, for all intents and purposes, been closed with the rest of us since the middle of March. They're having no face-to-face meetings. The customer service has been non-existent, if anything. But they did suspend. They did suspend a lot of their audit activity, their enforcement activity, and they encouraged people that were having problems to reach out with them and to go negotiate new arrangements.
Okay.
In addition to individuals, there's a couple of business items. There's a new employer tax credit, and the filing and payment deadlines have also been extended for businesses. So you have certain credits that are available for businesses. Those credits include sick and family leave and employee retention credits. Not to get too boring. And finally, there were some changes to the health, some more technical changes to the what is commonly referred to as Obamacare and the high deductible health plans. But suffice it to say, there were a lot of things that happened in March that you should be aware of. The best way to find this out is to go to irs.gov and type in COVID-19 and just follow the path to COVID-19 relief.
Okay.
There are wizards that will help you track your stimulus payment on that particular website.
Okay.
And I think you would find that very helpful as well. You can check the status of your stimulus payment if you were getting one.
Okay. That was my next question. That was my next question, is how, because some people have gotten it and some have not. So that was my next question.
Generally, if the IRS had your banking information, that is to say, if when you paid your taxes, you used your banking information on your tax form, they direct deposited the stimulus payment. Their objective was to get as much money in as fast as possible.
Okay.
So there's also a place on irs.gov where if they don't have your banking information, you can give it to them. And tomorrow is the last day for that. So, now's the time for that. So that's the way to hurry up your stimulus payment. Otherwise, it's going to come in the mail.
Okay.
One final note on the stimulus payment. Let's say you didn't get what you thought you should get. That will all be trued up with your 2020 federal income tax return. So, that's how they're going to correct any under or overpayments in the stimulus. That's going to be done on your 2020 federal income tax return.
Federal tax. And then those are due June.
That's going to be, no, I'm talking about your 2020 federal income tax return. That will be due next April 15th, 21.
Okay.
I'd like to take one quick minute to just, I know that this is not on point, but there were some other items of interest with the Small Business Association that the Treasury Department was in fact involved with. The PPP loan, the stimulus loans. You can go onto the SBA's website and check out anything that may be available for you there as well. My firm did help a number of clients successfully get PPP loans, and there are also some Florida loans that are available, economic assistance through the state of Florida. And you should go on there. And then finally, I know this is way off point, but a lot of people filed for unemployment, had trouble doing that, etc. But keep in mind, not only is unemployment available to employees, it would be available to self-employed people that aren't traditionally involved in the traditional self-employment employee-employer relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, through the CARES Act, the federal government is supplementing these unemployment checks. So it is important to, if nothing more, get denied and then try to get relief through the CARES Act. It's a little technical. It's a little involved. I really don't specialize in that, but I just happen to know that it's available.
Okay. And do they, when you
there's a lot
when you go back through the CARES Act, is that through a different website or is that still through the Florida unemployment website?
Well,
do you know?
The CARES Act the CARES Act was the act that gave rise to the PPP loan and a lot of the various relief packages. So I would stick to the websites I would stick with regard to relief: IRS.gov, the SBA's website, the state of Florida's DOR website for unemployment.
Okay. I know a lot of people are applying for that. I think the mobile site works better, and then people are filling out the paper applications and sending those in as well.
It's kind of weird. A lot of people got the PPP loans, and now they have their employees collecting unemployment, and they're actually getting more in unemployment than they would if they were working. But they got to come back to work, because of the covenants in the PPP loan. It's an interesting dichotomy there.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on. And I fortunately have been able to stay busy the entire time. Obviously, I'm not working from my office. I have not been working from my office. Thank God for Richard Paul. I have bad asthma, so I was scared to stay in the office. But our office is in fact open. We were deemed a essential business. We've been open the whole time, fielding phone calls. I have a full staff in there.
Good. And then you work with some of the other local organizations like the Wilton Manors Business Association, Island City Stage, and some others?
I do. I'm actually the treasurer of WIMBA, the Wilton Manors Business Association. We're not having our Monday night socials. We're not having our Thursday lunches. They have been suspended until things get back to normal. But if you do go onto our website, we do have a president's message. Tony LaGrande has been out there polling and meeting with the businesses and in Wilton Manors, coming up with some strategy on the reopening. And so WIMBA is very, very much alive. We were able to put out our directory. So the directory is out and was delivered. Somehow that happened amidst all this. I do stop into my office on Saturdays, and the directories were there. So that was a very pleasant surprise. So WIMBA is alive. I am the treasurer for the acting treasurer for the Island City Stage, which is a theater group that is housed in Wilton Manors on Dixie Highway, just north of the Pride Center. And we had to shut down on, we had a play. We actually had our biggest play of the year coming up suddenly last summer. So we had to suspend that, but I meet once a week. I'm on the executive board, so I meet once a week with Island City Stage. We are actively planning what we're going to do to, what a reopening is going to look like, what next season's going to look like. So we have been able to stay alive and working hard. I think you had Marty Childers on in one of your discussions. So excellent group there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a member of the Oakland Park Wilton Manors Rotary Club. And we too have been meeting weekly through Zoom. And we probably had some of the best speakers we've had all year. We had Mayor Dean Trantalis, we had Julie Carson, we had Norm Kent, we had a large group of great speakers. So Richard White, our president, is doing a great job. We meet on Mondays at 6 o'clock in Zoom.
Okay.
If you're interested, you certainly would be welcome. Okay. And then finally, I'm a smart rider.
You
I'm
are
an avid smart rider. Mm-hmm. That's really not an organization per se that I'm anything with other than a participant. But in order to just stay healthy, I have been riding my bike like crazy, mainly because I know everybody else is riding their bike. And when it gets back, I don't want to be, the turtle in the bunch. I want to be able to ride with these guys. And I've been riding like crazy. I started actively fundraising last week, and that got off to a great start. That is just one great organization doing a just great good for people that really need help. So if you have a friend that is a smart rider, rest assured that any contribution you make goes directly to people that really can use your help, that are certainly less fortunate.
The Smart Ride's a really, really wonderful event that happens every year. It's amazing. Yeah. Glenn and his team put together fantastic. Yeah. I'm glad you're part of that too, Tim.
This is my 6th year. So our team, we don't have a big team, but we're good fundraisers. So we're able to contribute, and we have fun. We train all year long. And it's just a great camaraderie thing. It's 500 plus riders. Glenn really just Glenn has a way of making all 500 plus people, plus the 250 plus people that take care of us, each individually makes feel special. It is an incredible gift he has, and it is one of my favorite events of the year.
We're going to get the website put up here in a minute for the Smart Ride, so people are interested in learning more about that. And people, you have one overnight in the Keys in the middle before you end up in Key West, right?
Yes, you'd ride 100 plus miles to Hawks Cay. You spend the night in Hawks Cay, and then you ride 65 miles down to Key West. And then there's a wonderful ceremony in Key West. They announce how much funds they raised. Last year, they raised $1.4 million. All of that money got distributed to the 7 age-centric charities in the state. And then on top of that, once this crisis hit, they held back 10% of the money to give to, which they call a lifeline, that they give to 20 other charities. They just immediately distributed that money. So it is just one wonderful organization that does nothing but good. You can see this picture. Look at all these riders. That is great.
And to take that many people on bikes and to do all they do, it is a very, very well-oiled machine.
You're moving a small city. You're moving moving all these people from UN down to Key West. It's wild. And
when you start to talk to Glenn about the details of putting this together, it is very overwhelming considering all that it takes to do. But it is he has every detail down pat to make this work and work very well. Yes.
And they're very attuned to our safety. and it's incredible. I feel extremely safe while I'm on my bike, even though I'm riding right on A1A the whole way down to the Keys. It is just a fantastic organization and a fantastic charity.
That's
I would
amazing.
encourage everybody. I'm sure you might have heard about it. And I remember when I had first heard about it, I really didn't put two and two together. But once I got involved in it, I didn't even ride a bike. Happened to, some of my golf buddies were smart riders. And they helped me get my bike. They helped me train. Everybody has really gone out of their way to make me a good bike rider. Or at least a bike rider that can hold his own in the ride.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being part of that. Tell us about, and R3 counting is open and reopen, I guess, is the status.
Yes, we're reopened. We have a secretary in there.
Okay.
You can get upstairs. I'm on the corner of Commercial and Bayview, on the top floor of the what is now the Optimum Bank building, which is right on the northwest corner of Commercial and Bayview. We weren't really seeing clients for a month. If you came, we went downstairs and got your information, went up, worked, figured out a delivery. Either, I have a secure server, I have ways to deliver things securely, or you could come back by. But now we are entertaining and seeing clients. Today we saw clients. We'll see clients tomorrow. And we'll end up seeing clients all the way through to July 15th.
Great.
I'm extremely fortunate, Stephen, to have such a great client base, great people that work with me. I'm very fortunate. And a great magazine to advertise in.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's just, I have what I feel is like the best ad in that magazine. Yes.
So Tim, where are we at? There we are.
That Tim was Mark Budwig did that. S-Mark Graphics did that logo and tagline for me.
You have been with us from almost maybe even the very first issue. So we appreciate you working with us and staying with us and believing in us and being one of our foundational partners from the very beginning.
That's as a result of your commitment to WIMBA. You would show up at those WIMBA meetings and support us. It was great. And that was back before, WIMBA has gotten under the leadership of Tim Moffat, now Julietta, fairly large. I mean, we have, 60, 70 people at lunch now. But you were coming when we had 8 people at lunch and 10 people at lunch. And, that meant a lot to me. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to talk to, our plan is to talk to Julietta tomorrow. But yes, WIMBA, Wilton Manors Business Association, has just grown by leaps and bounds to just, it's what the organization has become. But we're so thankful for your involvement in our community in so many different ways. And I see you and Richard at so many events. I see Richard at the Fort Lauderdale Gaming Chorus every time right at the front. So it's not just these, but you're involved in many, many levels of our community. So thank you for your commitment.
Oh, you're most welcome. Keep in mind, most of these guys are my friends. I don't really think of it as, I just, this is where I work. This is where I play. This is what I do. This is who I am.
Well, that's the same. That's the same for us. It's not just work. It's fun to get to go to the concerts and the shows and see people. And we have such a fun, interlocked community that it's great to see people interact with each other. So tell us about
remember when we went to that function for Island City Stage, the fundraiser, the cabaret. That was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was over at the Sonesta Hotel on the beach.
Yeah,
that was not with Christine Petty, who did the performance there at the end. I sat at your table.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun thing.
So tell us how we can find R3 Accounting online.
I have a website, r3accounting.com.
Okay.
Email thart@r3accounting.com. You know, I don't hide any of my phone numbers, my cell phone, my office. I want people to find me. So if you go on to r3accounting.com or look on these ads, you'll see my phone numbers. And I do get plenty of calls, and I am very appreciative. Thank you very much.
Good.
That's me standing at my desk. There I am.
There you are. There you are.
With my ties. I haven't had a tie. I haven't had a tie on for 6 weeks.
I know. It seems like I've been in shorts and a t-shirt for 6 weeks. I don't know what it would be like to put on regular khaki pants and maybe even a long sleeve shirt, but it's it's been interesting.
You by my office, you know, that's a great representation of what I look like during the day. That's perfect.
You're always a good smiling face when we come by. Well, thank you for talking. Thank you for talking to us. Is there anything I didn't ask that you wanted to cover?
No, I just love the fact that we have Versailles, Kentucky in common. That I actually know where that is, and have been there more than once. I've been there more than once, so I can talk about that. I love the magazine. I love paging through the magazine every month, and I also like the fact that you're doing these interviews. So if people feel that I can assist them further in some of these IRS matters, please feel free to give me a call, send me an email, drop me a line. I will go out of my way to try to help you.
Okay. Can you put talking to Arthur? Can you put Tim's email in the chat for? We're gonna have Arthur, who plays Rod's Doyle for me for these interviews. He's across the desk from me. I'm gonna have him type your email and your website into the chat, so it'll be there for future. But you can find you can find us at outclick.com, our Facebook at facebook.com/outclick. As across the bottom, you can also text OCQ to 22828 for more information about us as well. And we've got your email on there.
Thanks, Stephen. Awesome.
Thank you so much, and reach out to Tim. He's very knowledgeable, and they can help you with questions. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.